Alright, today's episode of Tequila Forever. Forever Tequila. Cimarron. Check it out. Today I'm doing the review on the Reposado. Now, Cimarron is a valley tequila. You know, it's coming from Totonilco. This is distilled from agave grown on the hillside at like over 4,600 feet of elevation. I believe the bricks on this tequila is supposed to be from like 24 to 26. You know, in case you're not too familiar with the bricks, that's like a sugar measurement type of thing that they would use for like wine, but they also start using that on tequila, right, to kind of measure the sugars on the agaves. This is low pressure, slow roast. I believe they fermentate this with like this winemaker's yeast and stainless steel vats. They use a roller mill and a screw mill for extraction. This is distilled using copper stills, and I believe for the Reposado, this is rested for 4 months in American white oak. Now, before I do this review, I have to admit that I didn't really want to do a review on this tequila because I didn't really like the Blanco too much. I know I've heard a lot of good things about it, right? And this tequila. The liquor store owners, recommend this, even though they've never tried it, but apparently they've heard good things. Usually for like a liter, it's anywhere from like $26 to $30. So it's at a really good price, so it's what you would call a budget tequila. I told myself if I'd ever do a review on this tequila, maybe if I found an older bottle. And what do you know? I ended up finding one. I'm not exactly sure how old this is, but a little bit of information that I've been looking at, right? A little bit of research. Supposedly this tequila came out in the US like in 2015. So if that's so, this tequila is perhaps approximately 10 years old. If anybody has any information, go ahead and post it on the comments below. I would like to know. I'm not really sure if it was 2015 or before that. So anyways, as you can see, this is a plastic cap. The label's different. I really like the design on this bottle versus the newer one. But that's not really what's important here. What's important is the juice on the inside. So let's get this bad boy opened up and then we'll see. From the looks of it too, just thought I'll mention this, from some that I've seen. I think this Reposado looks a little bit darker than the newer ones. For sometimes that depends on the batch, But I'm just saying that a few that I've seen. If I end up liking this tequila, perhaps I'll try the newer stuff, whatever's out on the shelf today. So I'm probably gonna have to say this one, I'm gonna say it anyways, stop collecting, start drinking. Stop collecting and start cracking these bottles open, because that's what I'm about to do. So in this one here, you got like a Nika, you got that, like that bottle stopper, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this up. So sometimes you gotta give it a little shake, This be for the wife.
Aww.
And then for young tequileros pour. So, see the cap has a little design on it too. I don't know if you guys can even see that right now, but I made sure I took some pictures. Got to take a picture of this cap too. I just kind of had it wrapped a little bit with some parafilm to make sure there wouldn't be any evaporation, which I really doubt, there's gonna be really any evaporation on this tequila. So anyways, there's a little bit of basura right here. There's a little bit of trash, and I had noticed that too. For whatever reason, I've noticed that some of these like plastic ones, the ones that have like plastic, right, these older ones, sometimes they get like a little bit of, I don't know if it's trash or it could be maybe it wasn't filtered properly. I'm hoping it doesn't affect the flavors in any way, but I think maybe it's just in the filtering process. It's all good. So I'm taking a look here at the color in this tequila, and this is like a gold, pretty much look like gold, darkish kind of yellow. It's a really nice color. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a little swirl, and I'm gonna take a look at it here in the glass. So I can see it right here, and from what I can see, that it's really clinging on the glass. So it looks really thick and oily. I don't see it breaking down yet, so definitely a good sign. You know, it has some really nice oil on there, you know. I can start seeing the legs right now, it starts to break down. So let's see what we pick up on the nose on this. Surprisingly, it actually smells really good. It smells really good. So maybe I'll have to give that new one a shot, you know. So it's a little bit floral, a little bit of vanilla. Sweet, you know, I'm picking up some caramel in there, a little bit of butterscotch. I'm also picking up like a little bit of mint, you know, maybe like some peppermint, which is really surprising. You know, I don't feel that it's really picking up that from the barrels, because when I tried the Blanco, I remember it was a little bit funky. You know, I remember there was like a lot of cinnamon. And, you know, it's just something I didn't really like too much, you know. I didn't feel like it was really well balanced, but this is different. This is nice, you know. There's a little bit of like molasses. Smells pretty good. It's starting to open up a little bit more. But I also feel like I'm picking up a little bit of anise on this too, so it's nice. It's a little bit earthy. It's good, you know. I like. So I'm like what I'm picking up on the nose. All right, so that's the first sip of the day. Kind of let that settle in a little bit. Let that heat kind of dissipate a little bit. Meanwhile, you know, I just thought I'll mention, as you can see here in the bottle, it doesn't say 100% de agave, you know, but here I took a picture of it. I'll have it posted on the on my YouTube channel. I think there was a sticker here before that said 100% de agave. You know, so that must have just fallen off, because I've seen some pictures here when I've been doing some research, right, trying to find this bottle, the year. Couldn't really find a year or anything like that, but I think I've seen some that would have the 100% de agave here on the label, and then I thought I seen one too that had it here. So I'll try to look at that picture and post it up with this. And if not, you know, whatever, you know. But I'm assuming that it has to be 100% de agave. I doubt this is a mix though, because it's really well made. And I also want to say I'm picking up a little bit like cherries on this. So this tequila has a really nice mouthfeel to it. It is creamy. It has a really thick, creamy mouthfeel to it. So definitely like that. It's definitely a plus. And as for the flavors, I said I'm picking up, yeah, just a little bit of oak, some bacon spices. I do get a little bit of that mint, and picking up a little bit of that anise. The vanilla's kicking in there. It's a little bit of ethanol in this. So I wouldn't say this is a complex tequila or anything like that. It does finish off a little bit bitter towards the finish, maybe like a little bit even smoky towards the end, I want to say. Just like a little pinch of smoke. But it's not bad. I mean, I think it's pretty good. I paid like $27 for this, for a 750 ml. But it's definitely worth it, you know, especially being an older bottle and everything. I think this is a pretty good tequila. So if the newer stuff is like this or similar, then I'll definitely recommend it. You know, things change. There's a lot of tequilas that were once made really good, and they're still additive free. This is additive free, by the way. and then like later they don't taste the same. I don't know if it's because the agaves are different or something, barrels or something in the method, something, changes. And that does happen quite often, so after trying this, I'm definitely gonna have to try the newer one, do a review on it, and then I'll bring out this bottle again if it ain't gone by then, and then do a little bit of side-by-side comparison. We'll compare some of the flavors and aromas, and then hopefully by then too, this is going to begin to open up, that it has a little more space, and then we can truly fully experience the spirit. So I want to say thank you very much for watching this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys have any information, like I said, about this tequila, go ahead and post it up. I'm all ears, almost like you guys. I'm willing to learn. I want to learn, so go ahead and post it up. So let me know. Salud.